If you're looking for great places to ride your gravel bike in Vancouver in 2025, you're going to want to watch this video. It is May and the days are getting longer, the weather is getting better, and I thought now would be a good time to make a video about the best places to ride my gravel bike in Vancouver. I am going to highlight some of my favorite places to ride my gravel bike in and around Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. So my number one location would have to be Pacific Spirit Park. I can be in Pacific Spirit Park in about 1 minute from my door, which for me is really handy. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I really love riding in Pacific Spirit Park, especially just obviously because of the proximity. What makes Pacific Spirit Park so spectacular is the fact that it is right in the heart of Vancouver. Pacific Spirit Park might really be Vancouver's best kept gravel bike riding secret. It's nestled right up beside UBC campus, and in spite of the fact that you're right in the city, when you're in Pacific Spirit Park, you feel as though you are out in the middle of nowhere, enjoying the beauty and the tranquility of the forest on a gravel bike. Because many of the trails, or much of the riding in Pacific Spirit Park is in the trees on a hot summer day, it is an ideal place to ride your gravel bike. And even in the winter, it's a great place to ride your gravel bike. The city has done a lot to improve the drainage in Pacific Spirit Park, so the trails are, in spite of the rain, maintained in pretty good condition, and they're really a great surface upon which to ride your bike. There are over 70 kilometers of multi-use trails in Pacific Spirit Park. Many of those trails are smooth enough for the beginner gravel biker, and for those more experienced gravel bike riders, there are some more technically challenging trails. There's so much variety in Pacific Spirit Park. You can do a quick 30-minute spin, or you can go out and ride for multiple hours and never ride on the same trail. Much of Pacific Spirit Park is fairly flat. There are opportunities for you to do a bit of climbing, but for most of the riding in Pacific Spirit Park, you're on relatively flat terrain. Obviously, it's incredibly accessible for people living in Vancouver, and there are multiple access points all around Pacific Spirit Park. 10th Avenue, Camosun Street, a variety of other places you can access Pacific Spirit Park. I will say on weekends, Pacific Spirit Park is a really popular place, even for walkers. So you do have to be aware of the fact that you are, in many instances, sharing the trails with other people. Okay, my number two choice for best gravel biking in Vancouver is probably Stanley Park. When most people think about Stanley Park, they think about the seawall, and perhaps riding in the seawall, but a lot of people forget there are lots of groomed gravel-covered trails in the forests. What makes Stanley Park so amazing is that within minutes you can be out of the city and riding through old-growth forest. Again, it's an ideal place for beginner gravel bike riders, but even for those that are experienced gravel bike riders, it's an amazing place just to get out and commune with nature. There are dozens of gravel and hard-packed dirt trails throughout Stanley Park. I don't know exactly how many kilometers worth, but as I say, there are mixed surfaces for all skill levels of gravel bike riders. Some of the more popular routes in Stanley Park include Bridle Path, Lover's Walk, and the trail around Lost Lagoon. What's great about Stanley Park is that you can mix in a little bit of gravel and a little bit of pavement. When you get tired of riding the gravel, you can head out onto the seawall and ride around the seawall and get beautiful views of the city. The gravel trails in Stanley Park tend to be a little less busy than maybe Pacific Spirit Park, but again, you're sharing those trails with walkers, so you always have to be aware of that when you head into Stanley Park. And again, the city does a great job of maintaining the trails in Stanley Park, so even riding in winter, the drainage on the trails is pretty spectacular, making them a great place to ride your gravel bike. You can easily access Stanley Park from downtown Vancouver and even from the North Shore over the Lionsgate Bridge. So Stanley Park is, like Pacific Spirit Park, one of those few places you can be riding in the trails and in the next moment you can be sipping coffee at your favorite coffee shop in the middle of the city. Pacific Spirit Park and Stanley Park are great, convenient places to ride your gravel bike, and they're right in the city. But my third choice is probably my favorite gravel bike riding location, and that has to be Fisherman's Trail on Vancouver's North Shore. If you want to escape the city and feel like you are out in the wilderness without having to drive for hours, Fisherman's Trail is the ride for you. Fisherman's Trail on Vancouver's North Shore is a perfect mix of rugged beauty and smooth gravel riding. Tucked into the lower Seymour Conservation Reserve, this is gravel biking at its best in Vancouver. Lush rainforest, towering trees, and the sound of the Seymour River running beside you is what really makes this ride my all-time favorite. Once you get out onto the ride, you will feel completely off-grid. You will feel as though you are out in the wilderness. And yet again, you are right on the doorstep of Vancouver. Fisherman's Trail is quiet, moody, atmospheric, and I would dare say even magical at times. The moss hanging off of the trees gives the location just an amazing magical feel to it. Fisherman's Trail is a really well-maintained gravel double-track road with a few punchy climbs and some nice flowy descents. It is an ideal surface for gravel bikes and even hardtail mountain bikes. It's smooth enough for speed, but rugged enough for adventure. There are very few technical sections, so it's great for intermediate riders and those that are really looking to get into gravel bike riding. Some of the highlights of the trail have to be the views of the Seymour River from multiple spots along the trail. My favorite part of the trail has to be the ride through what I think is called Bear Island, where you're crossing little wooden bridges and riding through lush old-growth forest. The trail starts from the lower Seymour Demonstration Forest parking lot for a full out and back route of approximately 20 kilometers. And if you want, you can link up with the paved Seymour Valley Trailway for a longer ride. If you're a little bit more ambitious, you can connect to the Baden-Powell Trail, Twin Bridges, and even Frome for a bigger gravel bike adventure. Because the trail is so well maintained, the drainage is good, this is a trail you can ride all year long, including in the middle of winter. Again, because you're often riding in the forest, this is a great place in the summer to go ride your gravel bike because there's lots of protection from the sun. Like Pacific Spirit Park and Stanley Park, this is a trail that is not accessible to vehicular traffic, so it's always quiet. Fisherman's Trail is less than 30 minutes from downtown Vancouver. You can park at Rice Lake or the LSCR, that's the Lower Seymour Conservation Trailhead, or ride up via Mount Seymour Parkway and Lillooet Road. It's modest elevation game with, as I say, with a few short punchy climbs. The terrain is a little bit more rolling than in Pacific Spirit Park and Stanley Park. And oftentimes you'll see people out there doing intervals. It's a great place to really build your fitness in preparation for your first gravel fondo. So if you're looking for a ride that delivers West Coast scenery, smooth gravel, and a total escape all within the city limits, Fisherman's Trail is really hard to beat. So my number 4 ride for Vancouver and the Lower Mainland is the Pitt Lake ride. If you're craving expansive gravel routes with breathtaking mountain and lake views, Pitt Lake really is the place to go. Pitt Lake offers a serene escape just an hour from downtown Vancouver. It's ideal for gravel enthusiasts seeking flat, scenic rides with a little touch of adventure. Ride along Pitt Lake, one of the world's largest tidal lakes, flanked by majestic coastal mountains. On this ride, you will traverse through wetlands, marshes, and farmlands teeming with bird life. It's a great place to experience ever-changing landscapes from misty mornings to sunlit afternoons. Pitt Lake is great. You'll navigate well-maintained dike trails and gravel roads suitable for all skill levels of gravel bike riders. You'll enjoy flat, hard-packed surfaces perfect for gravel, hybrid, and even cyclocross bikes. Routes like the Pitt River Dyke Loop offer approximately 50 kilometers of easy riding. You can opt for short out and back rides, or you can extend your journey with loops like the Pitt Lake Polder Cycling Trail. What I love about Pitt Lake is you can combine a loop of Pitt Lake with trails in Maple Ridge and the Pitt River Greenway for longer gravel bike adventures. When you're out riding in Pitt Lake, you'll spot herons, eagles, and other wildlife in this rich ecosystem surrounding the lake. You'll ride through areas adjacent to Widgeon Valley National Wildlife Area, a haven for migratory birds. And again, this is a place where you will experience the tranquility of nature with minimal urban distractions. Pitt Lake is easily reachable via the Lougheed Highway and Harris Road in Pitt Meadows. There's ample parking available at trailheads like Grant Narrows Regional Park, and riding Pitt Lake is suitable for riders of all ages, making it a really family-friendly destination. And like many of the other trails that I've been talking about, the Pitt Lake Trail is accessible throughout the year with great drainage even after heavy rains. Summer rides offer clear skies and vibrant scenery, while winter brings a peaceful, misty ambiance. Pitt Lake really does stand out as a top gravel biking destination within the Lower Mainland, combining natural beauty with incredibly well-maintained, accessible trails. Whether you're training or seeking a leisurely ride, it offers something for every cyclist. Okay, my 5th ride in the Vancouver Lower Mainland area has to be in Richmond. If you are craving beautiful mountain and sea views, Richmond is an amazing place to ride your gravel bike. Richmond offers a serene escape, just a short ride, again, from downtown Vancouver. It's ideal for gravel enthusiasts seeking flat, scenic rides with a little touch of adventure. You can ride along the Fraser River and the Strait of Georgia with views of the North Shore Mountains and Gulf Islands. You traverse through wetlands, marshes, and farmlands teeming with diverse bird life. So, riding in Richmond entails navigating well-maintained dike trails and gravel roads. Again, it's suitable for all skill levels of gravel bike riders. You'll enjoy flat, hard-packed surfaces perfect for gravel, hybrid, and even cyclocross bikes. You can explore routes like the West Dyke Trail, Shell Road Trail, and Middle Arm Trail. In Richmond, you can opt for short out and back rides, or you can extend your journey with loops like the Richmond Dyke Loop. And oftentimes you can combine your ride in Pacific Spirit Park with a ride out into the Richmond gravel trails. Again, out in Richmond, you will experience all sorts of amazing wildlife. And one year when we were riding out in Delta, we came across a flock of snow geese, which was an amazing sight. Of course, when you're riding in Richmond, you'll ride through areas adjacent to the Richmond Nature Park, which is another haven for migratory birds. Riding in Richmond is made that much easier because it's reachable via the Canada Line and even local transit routes. And it's close enough to the city that a quick little pedal gets you out into Richmond in no time. Like all of the other areas that I've mentioned, Richmond is a place that you can ride all year long. So Richmond stands out as a top gravel biking destination because it combines natural beauty with these amazing accessible trails. The last place I'm going to talk about is Delta. Again, if you are looking for mountain views and sea views in one gravel bike ride, Delta is an amazing place to ride your gravel bike. Just like the Seymour ride and the Richmond ride, Delta is relatively close to the city. You can drive within a very short period of time from downtown Vancouver out to Delta to access the gravel dike roads. Delta is ideal for gravel bike enthusiasts seeking flat, scenic rides with a touch of adventure. You can ride along the Fraser River and the Strait of Georgia, again with views of the North Shore Mountains and the Gulf Islands. Like the Richmond ride, you'll traverse through wetlands, marshes, and farmlands teeming with diverse bird life. Out in Delta, you'll navigate well-maintained dike trails and gravel roads that are suitable for all skill levels. You'll enjoy these flat, hard-packed surfaces that are perfect for gravel bike riding and even hybrid cycling. You can explore routes like the Boundary Bay Dyke Trail, the Watershed Park, and Delta South Surrey Greenway. Like many of the other rides, you can opt for short out and back rides, or you can extend your journey with loops like the Delta Ladner Circuit. You can combine the nearby trails in Richmond with those in Delta. When you're riding in Delta, you'll spot herons, eagles, and even snow geese if you are lucky. Delta is easily accessible via the Canada Line and again through local transit. And there's ample parking at trailheads like Watershed Park and Boundary Bay Regional Park. This is an area suitable for all riders of all ages and all skill levels. This is another area you can ride year-round, winter or summer. And so those are my favorite gravel bike riding locations in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. I hope this video has been helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. And I'm going to do a series of videos like this highlighting other regions within British Columbia. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.